Imagine stepping into a centuries-old Ottoman courtyard on a blistering summer day, mosaic tiles radiating heat like miniature furnaces underfoot, the air heavy with dust and sweat, yet feeling a cool breeze dance across your face as though fresh mountain air had been funneled straight from the Taurus range. No, it wasn't sorcery or modern air conditioning, it was the genius of Ottoman passive cooling techniques, nature's own air conditioners long before electricity. Stick around, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to transform your sweltering modern home into a sultan's palace retreat using these age-old hacks. And yes, your AC bills will thank you. Long before central air ducts or bulky window units, Ottoman architects mastered a trilogy of cooling secrets: shade, water, and ventilation. First up, the legendary wind tower, or Badjir, which acted like a natural fan powered by nothing but wind and temperature differentials. Picture a tall, rectangular shaft perched on a rooftop, its openings oriented toward prevailing breezes. As hot air rises through the tower's vertical shaft, cooler air is drawn from below into living spaces, creating continuous air circulation. The Ottomans arrayed these towers in rows atop palace halls and merchant mansions, each catching breezes off the Sea of Marmara or the Aegean and channeling them downward. Early travelers marveled at how even midday sun couldn't bake the marble-floored rooms. Want to feel this magic too? Give this video a like if you're ready to build your own mini Badjir, but wind towers alone weren't enough on the hottest days. Enter water, Ottoman architects' second secret weapon. In grand palaces like Topkapı and Dolmabahce, they carved elegant fountains, Salsabil, into courtyards, letting water cascade over stepstone, chilling the surrounding air through evaporation. The trick lies in surface area. Thin sheets of water spread over wide channels evaporate rapidly, absorbing heat from the breeze passing over them. This chilled breeze then drifts into adjacent rooms or corridors. European envoys compared the effect to cool spring water blown from hidden mountain grottos. If that sounds dreamy, hit subscribe and ring the bell to learn more on marrying traditional fountains with modern HVAC. Not to be outdone, Ottoman engineers covered walls and roofs with climbing plants, grapevines in summer palaces, jasmine and wisteria in urban mansions. These living canopies shielded masonry from direct sunlight, reducing absorbed solar heat by up to 60%. Beneath the vines planted in raised beds or hanging baskets, humidified microclimates formed, further cooling the air. Modern studies echo these figures. Green facades can lower wall surface temperatures by 10 to 20 degrees Celsius and reduce indoor temperatures by several degrees. A shade cooling a building is worth 10 shades over the head, as the Ottoman proverb might have gone. If you're itching to green your building, drop a comment below and let's brainstorm vine varieties together. Every element of Ottoman urban design reinforced these cooling principles. Narrow, winding alleys, arasta, created urban wind tunnels, accelerating breezes through bazaars and residential quarters. Buildings were oriented to funnel prevailing winds through living areas, and thick stone walls provided thermal mass, absorbing daytime heat and releasing it slowly at night when temperatures dropped. In Aleppo and Bursa, craftsmen used carved wooden lattice screens, Mashrabiya, to admit light while deflecting direct sun, creating dappled shade and privacy. These screens also facilitated cross-ventilation, letting breezes swirl through rooms without compromising comfort or modesty. Let's dive deeper into the Badjir, that iconic wind tower. There were four main types: unidirectional for desert climates, bidirectional for coastal winds, multidirectional for variable breezes, and hybrid towers with integrated evaporative cooling chambers. In Yazd, Persia, engineers incorporated a water reservoir at the tower's base, so incoming air passed over cool water before entering the building, boosting cooling by an additional 5 to 8 degrees Celsius. Ottoman masons adopted similar designs along the Mediterranean coast, fashioning underground cisterns linked to wind towers. Modern architects can replicate this by embedding evaporative coolers within wind chimney shafts in new high-rises. Imagine a glass-clad skyscraper topped with rooftop wind funnels and misting pads. Water features in Ottoman design went beyond fountains. Wet carpets were laid across marble floors. Men would pour shallow water over polished tiles to evaporate, cooling the room floor and humidifying the air. Though not practical for busy modern homes, the principle survives in indoor misting systems used in greenhouses and patios today. Combine shallow troughs along windowsills with fine mist nozzles, and you've got an instant microclimate cooler, no electricity guzzling compressor required. The Ottomans also exploited thermal mass. They built walls up to 2 meters thick using rammed earth or cut stone, storing heat during the day and releasing it at night when temperatures fell. This passive thermal storage kept indoor climates stable. Interior temps rarely swung more than 5 degrees Celsius day to night. Today's architects can mimic this with insulated concrete form ICF walls or rammed earth blocks in sustainable housing. These techniques reduce peak cooling demands, slashing energy consumption by 30 to 50%. Try walking through an Ottoman garden. The harems included fruit trees planted to harvest dappled shade, while pomegranate and fig trees lined walkways, their large leaves providing extra cooling. Shade from fruit trees also cooled soil temperatures, preventing heat reflection off pavement. In modern terms, this is permeable, vegetated pavement, an urban heat island mitigation strategy that planners now champion for city streets. Imagine your next street festival under a canopy of plane trees rather than steel rafters. No need for rented fans. The Ottomans didn't stop at natural systems. They invented early forms of air conditioning using ice. Winter ice blocks harvested from mountain lakes were stored in underground yakhchals, insulated domes, and used to cool aristocratic chambers in summer. Ice barrels lowered into courtyards, chilled breezes drawn through perforated walls. Translating this today, modern systems use phase change materials, PCM, embedded in walls or furniture to absorb excess heat at peak times, releasing it later, a direct descendant of yakhchal technology. By now you might be thinking, how can I actually apply these tricks? Start small. Install a solar chimney on your roof, a blackened vertical duct that heats up, drawing air upward and pulling fresh air in from lower windows. Pair it with strategically placed vegetation and a tabletop water feature, and you've got a micro Ottoman palace in your backyard. For larger buildings, retrofit ventilation shafts disguised as architectural features, integrate living walls, and add shaded overhangs oriented to block afternoon sun. Urban planners can orient streets and buildings to channel breezes, just like Ottoman city designers did in Edirne and Bursa. Of course, one challenge is modern building codes and aesthetics, but architects are already experimenting. A university library in Cyprus uses ceramic wind catchers atop its reading rooms, while a hotel in Abu Dhabi sports a massive solar chimney cloaked in traditional geometric patterns. These projects prove that old and new can blend beautifully. Heritage meets innovation. Subscribe if you want us to spotlight more modern buildings inspired by Ottoman design. So let's recap the Ottoman cooling playbook. 1. Wind towers to capture and channel breezes. 2. Evaporative cooling via fountains and mist. 3. green shading with vines and trees. 4. Thermal mass in thick walls and floors. 5. Night flush ventilation, opening windows at night to purge heat from interiors. And 6. Ice storage in subterranean domes. Combine these methods and you've got a holistic, low-energy climate control system. It's a powerful reminder that sustainable design often has ancient roots. Throughout this journey, remember, he who does not guard his house with wisdom sweats when the sun burns. By borrowing from Ottoman ingenuity, we can start guarding our modern homes, beating the heat without breaking the bank or the planet. Like if you can't wait to sketch your own wind tower and comment with a technique you'll implement first. Before we sign off, here's a bonus tip. Use ERI Farms evaporative roof irrigation systems grown over building tops. These Moroccan-inspired green roofs cool interior temperatures by 3 to 5 degrees Celsius. The Ottomans would have loved that, planting vines on flat roofs to the same effect. So which Ottoman cooling hack will you try? A solar chimney on your condo, a courtyard fountain in your backyard, or perhaps a lush vine canopy on your balcony? Let us know in the comments. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more practical wisdom culled from the past, from palace air conditioning to 21st century eco-living. Until next time, stay cool and keep hydrating, just like an Ottoman sultan in summer's peak.